Sid introduced me to Camillo Coogan, who lived around the corner from Sid's shop. I suppose to finish all of this, I should go back a little and tell you about a night in 1956 when it was raining and it was storming, and I was with a Scotchman named Colin Young, and we were driving down Sunset Boulevard. And there was a woman out in the street, wet, in a car that wouldn't run. And we stopped and we helped her out, and we got her home, and they got the car towed, and her husband and the Scotchman and I got pretty drunk. And that woman was a woman named Sheila Ashley then. She became Sheila Benson. She was the critic for the Los Angeles Times. And her mother was a great screenwriter. And she was beautiful, and she was a character. And she knew a lot of us fellas very well. At a given point in time, Sid was at my house, Camillo was at my house, my wife was at my house, and she was putting up with the three of us getting drunk, and Sheila showed up to say hello to Sid, who was in town, and to Coogan. She was in town from San Francisco. And she had a date, and Camillo decided she wasn't going to go home with anybody but him. This is long before he met Kim, and long after his wife had said, "This is enough." And he wouldn't leave her, and he went out to the car with her. She said, "I have to go, I have a date. I'll walk you to the car." Well, 35 minutes later, he still hadn't come back. So I thought, you know, if they do this in Beverly Hills, in the car, we could have a problem. Because they were then patrolling, and if you didn't live in Beverly Hills, they'd ask you what you were doing there. They don't do that anymore. And so I went out, and he was very close to her up against the car. And she looked at me and said, "Mike, I gotta go." And I said, "Coogan, come on." And he said, and he was like a dog hanging onto your leg.
Literally. And
I grabbed him by the tie and pulled him away from the car just long enough for her to get in and drive off. But he was going to chase her down the street. And I held on to the tie till I got over to the curb, and I let it go, and I said, "Come on, let's get a drink." And we went in the house, and as I went up the stairs, I felt the air coming, and I ducked. And it was Camillo, and he was taking a swing at me as I was looking. And I grabbed him because he was off balance from the swing missing. And I threw him over a wall onto the lawn, and I said, "Now, Coogan, you want to fight? We'll fight, but it's much better to go in. I got another bottle of Jameson in there. Let's go finish it." He said, "It's better to drink than fight." So in we went, and we went in, and of course I got to the table, and Sydney had finished the bottle. So I said, "Well, I got another one." And I bent over to pick up the bottle, and I woke up with a bottle in my hand on the floor. And I went, "What the hell?" And I turned around, and Sid is standing there with the bottle, the empty bottle, which has been broken in half, in his hand, and his head is bleeding. And I said, "What the hell is going on?" And he says, "You can't have it, Camillo. You're not going to do that." I said, "Camillo, did you hit me with that goddamn bottle?" He said, "I did, and I'm going to hit you again." And he hit me in the mouth. And I went backwards, and he came after me. And I picked him up by the tie again and by the balls. And I threw him through a window into the street. And I have this gold medallion. And he grabbed it on the way out the window. And he's laying in the street with the end of it in his hand, and the other end is around my neck. It didn't break. It's 24 karat gold, and it stretched out. It was 10 feet long. And I said, "If you don't let go of it, I'm going to kill you." He's let go of it. I took it over my head, and I went out, and we met in the front lawn. And we hassled around for a minute, and finally I got him down, and he was laying on the ground, and I pulled back, and I was going to kill him. And the fight went out of him. And he looked at me, and he woke up, and he said, "Oh, but Jesus, Michael, what have I done to you? What did I do? Oh, what a daft bugger I am. Michael, I've damaged your nose. Look, you're bleeding. Oh, but Jesus." And he reached up, and he grabbed me by the head, and he kissed me on the mouth, and he kissed me on the eyes and the nose, and he got up, and he picked me up in his arms and carried me into the house and said, "Oh, please, get me a a cold towel. Let me clean him up. And he cleaned me up, and he cried, and he wiped my face, and he said, how could I fucking ever do anything like that, Jim? I go, oh, I'm so sorry. Will you ever fucking forgive me? I think we both know in this world, going down this river we're on, there is no goodbye. There is only the family and the friends and the love that we take with us. And that, I suggest, in the name of my friend Camillo Coogan. All the best to you. Slanta!
I looked out through my window at the grass so tall and green, at the oak tree by the bar, the best I've ever seen. Each acorn as it grows, and be another tree. The beauty's not so small, just like you and me. I picked the raw flowers, so pretty and so light, opens out every day and goes to sleep at night. It's eager to be connected, that's made for God, and we can buy it off the shelf in glass that shaped like hearts. I never cease to wonder at the beauty. I never cease to wonder at the world. The hedgerows by the roadside, the food that we own, the trees that give us air, to make our hearts beat, the water that we drink, that comes down from the sky, the sun that heats our bodies to help our life go by. The sea on which we sail, the fish that live within, the vastness of the ocean, where did they all begin? Don't take it all for granted, live it where you can. The wonders of our mother and woman and man. I never cease to wonder at the beauty. I never cease to wonder at the world. I never cease to wonder at the beauty. I never cease to wonder at the world.
Camillo and Rosemary disappear into the kitchen, and they come back with all these kitchen utensils. So they start handing them out to everybody, and we had this band of kitchen utensils with the egg beaters, and it was just all around the house. We were just singing and dancing with these kitchen utensils, and it was so fun. And another time, I think that Ron had found, he was going through his closet, and he found an old flight attendant uniform of Rosemary's. And Ron was going to surprise Rosemary by showing it to her. And so Camillo came up. He was dressed in her little flight attendant outfit with the little suitcase and, with the little hat on and everything. And he was so cute.